The ritual of the universe unveils the ancient truth. The cosmos offers its treasures only when your soul is ready to receive. As you listen, you'll discover that what you seek is seeking you, and every gift arrives in perfect harmony with your awakening. The Ritual of Universe. Introduction. In the hush of ages long forgotten, when truth was sung in breath and moonlight rather than captured in ink, a secret litany began to move through the cosmos. The Ritual of the Universe is no ordinary book. It is a living mirror of your own longing, a vessel that has found you as much as you have found it. Each tale is a silent torch on the winding path of your spirit, revealing not distant wonders, but the treasures that have always dwelt within. Here, you will walk beside merchants who barter in pure consciousness, blacksmiths who surrender to the molten hymn of truth, and astronomers who chart the hidden constellations of the heart. You will meet bakers whose bread rises on currents of intention, and healers, shepherds, and dancers who each carry a fragment of the eternal teaching, that life unfolds not by force or cleverness, but only through readiness, surrender, and love. These parables are not idle ornaments for a passing hour. They are keys, each tempered in the fire of mystery, each waiting for the instant when your soul is tuned to receive. For the treasures of the universe, like the impossible wares of the Damascus merchant, reveal themselves only when destiny and spirit recognize one another. Read, then, not with a mind hungry for answers, but with a heart willing to be revealed. Let these words wash through you as rivers carve hidden valleys, shaping the unseen contours of your own being. Whether you find yourself in the eternal marketplace, at the blacksmith's glowing forge, or beneath the secret stars of Persia, you are, in truth, discovering yourself. This is the quiet reminder that threads every page. The miracles you seek have never been elsewhere. They have always lived within you, waiting for the moment you remember that you are both the seeker and the sought, the question and its timeless answer. But before we begin, please hit the like button and let me know where in the world you're watching from today. It's always fascinating seeing who's joining us from around the world. Part 1. Awakening to the Cosmic Marketplace. Chapter 1. The Merchant's Impossible Sale. In the sprawling markets of ancient Damascus, where spice-laden winds carried whispers of distant lands, there dwelt a peculiar merchant named Jessica Martinez. Her small stall, tucked between towers of saffron and mountains of myrrh, held items that defied ordinary commerce. Crystalline vessels that caught starlight, mirrors that reflected tomorrow's dreams, and rings forged from fallen wishes. What puzzled Jessica was not the mystical nature of her wares, but their stubborn refusal to be sold. Golden coins would turn to leaves in her palm. Silver pieces would dissolve like morning dew. Even precious gems offered in trade would simply vanish with a gentle chime. "Perhaps," she lamented to a passing wise woman, "I am the worst merchant in all of Damascus." The wise woman's eyes twinkled. "Or perhaps," she replied, "you are the most honest one." That evening, as Jessica arranged her impossible inventory, she noticed something extraordinary. A weary traveler approached, his eyes drawn to a simple copper bowl that had refused purchase 100 times before. As he lifted it, the bowl began to hum with an inner light. "I've searched 3 continents for such a vessel," he whispered, "though until this moment I didn't know what I was seeking." When he offered payment, the coins remained solid gold in Jessica's palm. The bowl had found its destined owner. Day by day, Jessica discovered the truth. Her items chose their owners, materializing only for those whose souls genuinely required them. A grieving mother found a pendant that whispered lost lullabies. A blind poet received scrolls inscribed with tactile verses. Each object awakened precisely when its intended recipient achieved the consciousness to receive it. You see, dear seeker, the universe operates as Jessica's marketplace writ large. Its treasures appear not by chance but by resonance, manifesting only when your spirit attunes to their frequency. What you seek is also seeking you, waiting for the moment your consciousness becomes its perfect home. Practice. The Gratitude Gateway. Each evening, sit in contemplative silence and name 3 mysterious gifts the universe has placed in your path. They may be teachings, encounters, or revelations that arrived precisely when your soul required them. As you acknowledge each one, whisper, "I recognize the perfect timing of all gifts. I trust the wisdom that guides their arrival. I am ready to receive what seeks me now." This practice opens the gateway between your consciousness and the cosmic marketplace, where infinite treasures await the precise moment of your readiness to receive them. Jessica still tends her impossible stall in the eternal markets of spirit, reminding us that true value lies not in the ability to acquire, but in the readiness to receive. Chapter 2. The Blacksmith's Unbreakable Metal. In the volcanic valleys of ancient Mount Olympus, where Earth's molten heart whispered secrets to those who listened, lived a master blacksmith named Brandon Rodriguez. His forge rang with an otherworldly song, yet his greatest works emerged not from strength, but from surrender. Brandon had spent decades mastering traditional metallurgy, hammering metal into submission with precise force. But one mystifying morning, his hammer shattered against a stubborn piece of iron that refused to yield. "Strange," he mused, setting aside the broken tool. "Perhaps the metal knows something I don't." That night, exhausted from failed attempts, Brandon fell into a trance before his cooling forge. In his altered state, he heard the metal speaking, "Your force creates resistance. Your surrender reveals my truth. I am not meant to be conquered, but allowed to flow like youth." Upon waking, Brandon approached his work differently. Rather than commanding the metal, he began listening to it. He discovered each piece had its own rhythm, its own desire to transform. When he aligned with this natural flow, miraculous alloys emerged. Metals lighter than feathers, yet stronger than diamond. Blades that cut through illusion rather than matter. Shields that deflected fear instead of arrows. Word spread of Brandon's impossible creations. A warrior prince demanded to know his secret. "I merely echo what the metal wishes to become," Brandon explained, cradling a glowing ingot like a sleeping child. "The strongest forms arise not from dominance, but from partnership with the universe's flow." You see, dear one, creation's deepest magic activates not through force but through harmony. When you cease struggling against the universe's current, you become a channel for its infinite power. Your desires manifest not by conquest, but by alignment with the natural unfolding of cosmic will. Practice. The Forge of Surrender. Sit quietly and place your hands palm up on your knees. With each breath, release one layer of control. Inhale. I am the universe flowing freely. Exhale. Release tension from your body. Inhale. I am divine will in motion. Exhale. Let go of mental resistance. Inhale. I am perfect cosmic timing. Exhale. Surrender all forcing. Continue until you feel light as molten metal, ready to flow into the perfect form life has waiting for you. Brandon's forge still sings in the valleys of spirit, reminding us that our greatest creations emerge not from mastery over the universe, but from becoming one with its dance. Chapter 3. The Astronomer's Missing Star. In the windswept peaks of ancient Persia, where heaven and earth traded secrets in the darkness, lived a devoted astronomer named Michelle Campbell. Her observatory, carved from living crystal, housed charts mapping every celestial dance, save one. A prophecy spoke of a star whose light would awaken humanity's dormant wisdom, yet despite decades of searching, this cosmic jewel remained hidden from her sight. Michelle's calculations were flawless, her instruments precise. Still, where her charts predicted the sacred star should shine, she saw only empty space. Frustrated, she began sleeping beneath the open sky, her dreams tangled with stardust and questions. One night, a child wandered into her observatory, eyes wide with wonder. "There it is," the girl exclaimed, pointing to the very spot Michelle had fruitlessly studied for years. "The star that sings." Michelle squinted at the familiar patch of darkness. "Where?" "I see nothing." "That's because you're looking with these," the child giggled, tapping her own eyes. "You must look with this." She pressed her small hand against Michelle's heart. That night, Michelle set aside her charts and calculations. Instead of straining her eyes, she closed them. Rather than reaching for the heavens, she turned inward. In the quiet space between breaths, something shifted. When she finally looked up, tears filled her eyes. There it was, the prophesied star, blazing with impossible colors, had been visible all along. Its light didn't travel through space, but through consciousness itself. The star appeared only to those who had cultivated the clarity to perceive it. You see, beloved seeker, the universe's deepest mysteries reveal themselves not to the sharpest instruments, but to the clearest awareness. What you seek often stands before you, waiting not for external discovery, but for internal illumination. Practice. The stellar alignment. Find a quiet place beneath the sky, whether star-filled or cloud-covered. Close your eyes and follow these steps. 1. Breathe deeply, whispering, "I am the observer and the observed." 2. Feel your consciousness expanding like the night sky. 3. Allow your awareness to become as clear as space itself. 4. When ready, open your eyes while maintaining this expanded state. Remember Michelle's words, "The stars we seek through telescopes are mirrors of the light within." When inner vision clarifies, outer mysteries reveal themselves. In the eternal observatory of spirit, Michelle still charts the paths of inner illumination, reminding us that the greatest discoveries await not in distant galaxies, but in the pristine clarity of our own consciousness. Chapter 4. The Healer's Selective Remedies. In the misty valleys of ancient Tibet, where healing herbs whispered their secrets to attentive hearts, lived an unusual physician named Timothy Walker. His remedies were unlike any others: simple flowers that could mend broken bones, ordinary water that cured lifelong ailments, and plain stones that banished ancient curses. Yet these medicines worked differently for each person who sought his aid. What puzzled Timothy most was not the miraculous nature of his cures, but their seemingly arbitrary effectiveness. The same herb that instantly healed one fever would have no effect on another. Waters blessed with identical prayers would prove transformative for some, yet remain ordinary for others. One morning, as Timothy gathered dew from lotus leaves, an old monk approached his garden. "Your remedies perplex you," the monk observed, "because you believe they live in the plants and stones." "Where else would they reside?" Timothy asked, watching dewdrops slip through his fingers. The monk smiled. "The medicine is merely a bridge. Its power flows not from the substance, but from the space between readiness and need." Through the following seasons, Timothy began observing his patients differently. He noticed how those who approached with humble receptivity found healing in the simplest remedies, while those demanding instant cures experienced no effect from even his most potent medicines. A nobleman once brought his daughter, burning with fever. Timothy offered a plain cup of stream water. The father raged at such a common remedy, but the child, free from prejudice, drank gratefully and was healed before sunset. "You see, precious one, the universe's healing power flows not through the grandeur of the remedy, but through the readiness of the recipient. What appears as ordinary medicine to one consciousness becomes divine nectar to another. The miracle lies not in the method, but in the meeting of preparation and grace. Practice the healing vessel. Sit quietly and place your hands in your lap, palms upward. Follow these steps. 1. Breathe deeply, feeling yourself become empty like a clean bowl. 2. Whisper, "I am ready to receive perfect healing." 3. Imagine pure light filling your empty vessel. 4. Allow this light to overflow into all areas needing restoration. Repeat daily, remembering Timothy's wisdom. The most powerful medicine is the humility to receive it. In the eternal gardens of spirit, Timothy still tends his mysterious remedies, teaching us that true healing comes not from the power we seek to grasp, but from the grace we are prepared to receive. Chapter 5. The Baker's Mystical Bread. In the hidden mountain village of ancient Shangri-La, where morning mists carried whispers of celestial secrets, lived a humble baker named Amanda Chen. Her tiny shop sat beneath flowering plum trees, and while other bakers crafted ordinary loaves, Amanda's bread held mysteries that defied explanation. Some claimed her crusty rolls could heal broken hearts. Others swore her braided challah revealed visions of possible futures. Yet what puzzled Amanda most was how inconsistent these magical properties seemed. Some days her simplest loaves transformed lives, while on others her most elaborate creations remained merely delicious bread. One dawn, As Amanda kneaded dough beneath the rising sun, an ancient woman appeared, her eyes twinkling like stars caught in morning light. "Your hands shape more than flour and water, child," the woman observed, touching a rising loaf. "You weave intentions into being." Amanda paused, dusted with flour. "But why do some loaves carry magic while others don't?" The woman traced patterns in spilled flour. "Watch your thoughts as you bake tomorrow. The bread rises not with yeast alone, but with the purity of purpose in your heart." The next morning, Amanda began her work differently. As she mixed each ingredient, she infused it with clear intention. Water became flowing love. Flour transformed into gentle wisdom. Salt crystallized into grounding truth. She noticed that when her mind wandered to worries or schedules, the dough remained lifeless. But when she maintained pure presence and purpose, it rose with otherworldly lightness. A wealthy merchant once demanded to purchase her magical bread. Amanda offered him a fresh loaf, but in his hands it turned dense and ordinary. Meanwhile, a hungry child given the same bread found it multiplied to feed her entire family. You see, precious one, creation's deepest magic flows not from ingredients or technique, but from the clarity of consciousness behind each action. When you infuse your works with pure intention, the universe's power flows through even the simplest tasks. Practice. The sacred loaf of being. Sit quietly and cup your hands as if holding bread dough. Follow these steps. 1. Breathe deeply, whispering, "I am the sacred baker of my reality." 2. Feel divine energy gathering in your palms like rising dough. 3. Knead your intentions with, "Love rises within me. Wisdom flows through me. Truth sustains me." 4. Release your creation to serve the highest good. Remember Amanda's wisdom. Every moment is bread for the spirit. The purity of our intention determines how it rises. In the eternal bakery of consciousness, Amanda still kneads the dawn into golden possibilities, teaching us that life's real magic lies not in what we make, but in how present we are while making it. Chapter 6. The Scribe's Self-Writing Scrolls. In the sacred archives of ancient Alexandria, where papyrus whispered secrets of the ages, lived a gifted scribe named Aaron Mitchell. Unlike other scholars who labored over each careful stroke, Aaron discovered something extraordinary. Sometimes the scrolls would write themselves through his hands, flowing with wisdom beyond his comprehension. Yet this phenomenon proved mysteriously selective. Some days, the divine knowledge poured through him like a river of golden light. Other times, despite his best efforts, only his own limited thoughts would emerge on the page. One evening, as shadows danced across the library walls, a blind poetess approached his desk. "You grip the reed too tightly," she said, though she couldn't possibly see his hand. "The universe cannot flow through clenched fingers." Aaron frowned at his white-knuckled grip. "But if I hold too loosely, how can I control the writing?" The poetess laughed like tinkling bells. "That's precisely your obstacle. You're trying to be the author when you're meant to be the instrument." Through moonlit nights that followed, Aaron practiced a different way of writing. He learned to empty himself of expectation, to become hollow like a reed flute awaiting the breath of divine wind. He noticed that when his ego demanded to direct the wisdom, his scrolls remained ordinary. But when he surrendered completely, letting his hand move like a leaf in the cosmic breeze, profound teachings beyond his understanding would flow forth. A renowned philosopher once demanded Aaron transcribe his lectures, but only mundane words appeared. Yet when a humble seeker asked for guidance, Aaron's hands danced across the papyrus with celestial fire, revealing exactly what that soul needed to know. You see, beloved one, the universe's deepest wisdom channels not through the learned mind, but through the empty vessel. When you release the need to control the flow, you become a pure conduit for divine expression. Practice the flowing reed of spirit. Sit with parchment or paper before you, holding your writing instrument lightly. Follow these steps. 1. Breathe deeply, whispering, "I am the hollow reed through which wisdom flows." 2. Feel yourself becoming empty and receptive. 3. Place your hand gently on the page without expectation. 4. Allow whatever comes to emerge without judgment or control. Remember Aaron's revelation. True wisdom writes itself through hearts made empty by surrender. In the eternal library of consciousness, Aaron still tends his mysterious scrolls, teaching us that the greatest insights flow not from what we know, but from how completely we can let go and let divine wisdom write itself through our being. Chapter 7. The Shepherd's Talking Flock. In the mist-shrouded highlands of ancient Kashmir, where dawn's first light painted the mountains gold, lived a shepherd named Stephanie Garcia. Unlike other herders who saw only wool and meat in their flocks, Stephanie discovered her sheep possessed an extraordinary gift. They spoke ancient wisdom, but only to those whose ears were truly ready to hear. At first, she thought the mountain air had addled her mind when she heard philosophical discourse emerging from her grazing flock. One elderly ewe would recite verses from forgotten texts, while young lambs posed questions that challenged the foundations of reality itself. Yet when Stephanie excitedly brought others to witness this miracle, her sheep appeared completely ordinary, bleating their simple sheep sounds. This pattern puzzled her deeply, until a wandering mystic passed through the highlands. "Your flock seems unusually contemplative," the mystic observed, nodding to a ram who had just quoted ancient Vedic texts. Stephanie's eyes widened. "You can hear them too? Everyone else thinks I'm touched by mountain fever." The mystic smiled. "The universe speaks through all things, flowers, stones, even sheep. But its voice becomes audible only when we tune our consciousness to its frequency. Your flock hasn't changed. Your ability to hear has awakened." Through the changing seasons, Stephanie learned to listen more deeply. She noticed that when her mind was cluttered with worldly concerns, the sheep's profound utterances faded to ordinary bleats. But in moments of pure presence, even their footprints in the morning dew revealed cosmic mysteries. A famous scholar once climbed the mountain, demanding to document the talking sheep. He left disappointed, hearing nothing but animal sounds. Yet a simple child wandering by engaged in delightful philosophical discourse with the lambs about the nature of existence. You see, precious one, wisdom whispers through every aspect of creation. The question is not whether the universe is speaking, but whether we have developed the consciousness to hear its voice. Practice. The listening heart. Find a quiet place in nature and follow these steps. 1. Breathe deeply, whispering, "I am attuned to universal wisdom." 2. Release expectations of how truth should sound. 3. Open your awareness to messages in unexpected forms. 4. Let nature's voice emerge through perfect stillness. Remember Stephanie's wisdom. Every blade of grass contains libraries of knowledge, if only we learn to listen with our souls instead of our ears. In the eternal meadows of spirit, Stephanie still tends her philosophical flock, teaching us that divine wisdom speaks through all things when we cultivate the consciousness to hear it. Chapter 8. The Sailor's Compass of Destiny. In the mist-veiled harbors of ancient Phoenicia, where trade winds carried whispers of distant shores, lived a legendary navigator named Kevin Torres. While other sailors relied on stars and charts, Kevin possessed an extraordinary compass that defied ordinary navigation. Its needle pointed not to magnetic north, but toward each person's highest destiny. Yet this mystical instrument proved remarkably temperamental. Sometimes its crystal face would glow with otherworldly clarity, the needle spinning with absolute certainty. Other times it remained stubbornly dull, refusing to offer guidance despite Kevin's desperate pleas. One storm-threatened evening, as clouds gathered like dark omens, an old pearl diver emerged from the waves and approached his ship. "Your compass reads the currents of destiny," she said, water streaming from her silver hair. "But you clutch it like a drowning man grasps driftwood." Kevin studied his white-knuckled grip on the instrument. "If I hold it loosely, how can I ensure it guides the way I need to go?" The pearl diver laughed, her voice like waves on sand. "That's precisely why it dims. The compass doesn't serve your plans. It reveals the ocean of possibility flowing beneath them." Through moontides that followed, Kevin learned a different way of navigation. He discovered that when he demanded specific destinations, the compass face clouded like stormy seas. But when he surrendered to the flow of universal currents, its needle danced with crystalline purpose, guiding journeys beyond his imagining. A wealthy merchant once offered a fortune to use the compass for finding profitable routes. In his hands it spun uselessly. Yet when a lost soul seeking life's purpose held it, the needle blazed like a star, pointing toward adventures that would transform them both. You see, beloved one, your highest destiny reveals itself not through forced direction, but through divine surrender. When you release the need to control your course, the universe's guidance shines with perfect clarity. Practice. The surrendered navigation. Sit quietly and cup your hands as if holding the sacred compass. Follow these steps. 1. Breathe deeply, whispering, "I trust the divine current of my destiny." 2. Feel yourself becoming buoyant, released from the weight of control. 3. Let your inner compass align naturally, without force or demand. 4. Notice which direction calls to your soul's deepest knowing. Remember Kevin's revelation. True navigation begins when we stop fighting the current and become one with the ocean of destiny. In the eternal harbor of consciousness, Kevin still reads his mysterious compass, teaching us that life's greatest journeys unfold not from our stubborn plotting, but from surrendering to the perfect course already charted in our hearts. Chapter 9. The Weaver's Pattern of Fate. In the misty highlands of ancient Tibet, where prayer flags whispered secrets to the wind, lived a remarkable weaver named Rachel Phillips. Unlike other artisans who created from predetermined patterns, Rachel discovered her loom possessed an extraordinary power. It wove tapestries revealing the flowing threads of destiny, but only when she achieved perfect harmony with cosmic timing. At first, Rachel struggled to understand why some tapestries shimmered with prophetic vision, while others remained merely beautiful cloth. The mystery deepened when she noticed that forcing her will upon the threads produced only mundane designs, yet surrendering to their natural flow revealed breathtaking glimpses of what was to come. One frost-touched morning, as prayer wheels turned in distant monasteries, a wandering silk merchant laid an ancient moth-eaten tapestry before her. "See how the pattern changes when viewed from different moments in time?" she asked, shifting the fabric in the dawn light. "Your loom weaves not with thread, but with time itself." Rachel traced the shifting images with wonder. "But how can I ensure it shows what needs to be seen?" The merchant smiled, her eyes twinkling like dewdrops. "That's precisely why some patterns remain hidden. Time reveals its secrets only to those who honor its dance." Through countless sunrises, Rachel learned to weave differently. She discovered that when her hands moved with ambitious purpose, seeking specific visions, the patterns remained flat and lifeless. But when she allowed her fingers to flow like water over stones, trusting the timing of each thread, magnificent futures blossomed in the fabric. A desperate noble once demanded she weave his destiny, offering a fortune in gold. Before his grasping hands, the loom produced only geometric shapes. Yet when a humble yak herder simply admired her work, the thread spontaneously wove scenes of their intertwined destinies. "You see, precious one, the future reveals itself, not to those who demand its secrets, but to those who dance gracefully with its unfolding. Practice the threads of time." Sit quietly and imagine sacred threads flowing through your hands. Follow these steps. 1. Breathe deeply, whispering, "I move in perfect harmony with divine timing." 2. Feel the subtle currents of time flowing around you. 3. Notice patterns emerging naturally in your awareness. 4. Trust the perfect unfolding of your destiny's tapestry. Remember Rachel's wisdom. The universe weaves most beautifully through hands that have learned to trust its timing. In the eternal pattern of existence, Rachel still tends her mystical loom, teaching us that life's greatest revelations emerge not from forcing fate's hand, but from flowing gracefully with its divine design. Chapter 10. The Guardian's Test of Worthiness. In the shadow-veiled valleys of ancient Nepal, where sacred temples pierced the clouds like fingers reaching for heaven, lived a mysterious temple guardian named Daniel Hayes. Unlike other protectors who tested seekers with feats of strength or riddles of wisdom, Daniel's trials seemed to defy possibility itself, yet dissolved into simplicity when approached without ego. The temple steps, when climbed with ambition, stretched endlessly upward. The entrance door, when pushed with force, became immovable as a mountain. The sacred fountain, when approached with thirst, would run dry. Yet humble children would skip effortlessly to the top. Butterflies would drift through the mighty door, and forest creatures would drink freely from the endless waters. One monsoon evening, as thunder rolled through the valleys like celestial drums, a battle-hardened warrior arrived, seeking enlightenment. "I've conquered kingdoms and mastered every martial art," he declared. "Surely I can pass your simple tests." Daniel smiled, his eyes reflecting distant lightning. "Then perhaps you'd like to move this pebble." He pointed to a tiny stone no larger than a dewdrop. The warrior laughed, but when he reached for the pebble, it wouldn't budge. He strained until veins stood out on his forehead, yet the stone remained fixed as if anchored to the center of the earth. Through the long night, the warrior employed every technique he knew: leverage, tools, even explosives. Nothing affected the seemingly immovable pebble. As dawn painted the sky, a young pilgrim passed by. Noticing the warrior's frustration, she bent down and picked up the pebble effortlessly, placing it gently in the warrior's trembling hand. "The universe's greatest powers," Daniel explained, "yield only to those who have released the need to prove their own." You see, beloved seeker, the obstacles before you are not barriers to be conquered, but mirrors reflecting what you must surrender to proceed. Practice the surrender of power. Find a quiet space and follow these steps. 1. Breathe deeply, whispering, "I am willing to release all need to prove myself." 2. Feel the weight of your accumulated power and knowledge. 3. Let each breath carry away another layer of ego-driven strength. 4. Notice how true power flows naturally through empty vessels. Remember Daniel's teaching? The mightiest door opens not to the force of your pushing, but to the grace of your letting go. In the eternal temples of spirit, Daniel still offers his impossible trials, teaching us that our greatest achievements come not from asserting our power, but from surrendering our need to be powerful. Part 2. Practicing Alignment and Readiness. Chapter 11. The Alchemist's Transforming Touch. In the candlelit chambers beneath ancient Alexandria, where sacred mysteries whispered through torchlit corridors, lived an extraordinary alchemist named Megan Foster. Unlike other practitioners who mixed compounds and studied formulas, Megan discovered that metals transformed not through elaborate processes, but through the precise matching of her inner vibration to the cosmic frequency of change. Her laboratory held countless vessels of base metals, each awaiting transformation. Yet despite her vast knowledge of alchemical arts, some days the metals remained stubbornly unchanged, while on others they transmuted instantly to gold at her slightest touch. One shadowy evening, as incense curled like ancient serpents through the air, a visiting sage from the east observed her frustration. "Your metals mirror your music," he said, watching her hands hover over a copper bowl. "When your song clashes with the universe's melody, Even lead remains lead. Megan studied her reflection in the polished metal. But I know all the proper techniques and formulas. The sage traced a symbol in the dust. That's precisely why they resist. Transformation flows not from knowledge, but from resonance. Through countless experiments that followed, Megan learned a different approach to alchemy. She discovered that when she focused on formulas and forced reactions, the metals remained inert. But when she aligned her own frequency with the cosmic vibration of possibility, miraculous transformations occurred effortlessly. A renowned scholar once demanded she demonstrate her methods, taking detailed notes of every gesture. In his subsequent attempts, nothing changed. Yet, when a humble street sweeper simply admired the beauty of her work, the metals in his presence began to shimmer with golden light. You see, precious one, true transformation manifests not through technical mastery, but through perfect resonance with the universe's transformative power. Practice. The frequency of change. Sit quietly before any object you wish to transform. Follow these steps. 1. Breathe deeply, whispering, I am in perfect harmony with universal transformation. 2. Feel your own vibration rising to match cosmic frequency. 3. Allow your energy to dance with the object's essential nature. 4. Trust the natural flow of transmutation. Remember Megan's wisdom. The universe's greatest changes occur not through force of will, but through harmony of being. In the eternal laboratory of consciousness, Megan still practices her mystical art, teaching us that life's most profound transformations emerge not from external techniques, but from internal alignment with the cosmic symphony of change. Chapter 12. The Oracle's Selective Prophecies. In the sacred caves of ancient Delphi, where vapors of prophecy rose through stone cracks like whispers from the underworld, lived an unusual oracle named Jennifer Wallace. Unlike other seers who spoke in riddles to all who approached, Jennifer discovered her visions appeared only for those who sought truth rather than comfort. Her chamber, carved from living rock and lit by eternal flames, held a pool of mercury-still water that showed different reflections to each seeker. Yet Jennifer noticed something peculiar. When visitors came seeking specific predictions or favorable fortunes, the pool showed only their own uncertain faces staring back. One storm-racked night, as lightning illuminated the cave mouth like Zeus's fury, a wealthy merchant arrived, demanding to know his future successes. "Strange," Jennifer murmured, gazing into the pool. "The waters show nothing but shadows." "Impossible," he declared, dropping a heavy purse of gold. "I've paid handsomely for clarity." Yet when a dust-covered pilgrim entered moments later, seeking only to understand her life's purpose, the pool erupted with vivid scenes of possibility. Through countless revelations, Jennifer learned to recognize the patterns. Those who approached with predetermined hopes saw nothing. Those who came clutching specific questions left with only riddles. But those who arrived with hearts truly open to wisdom, regardless of its nature, received visions of startling clarity. A celebrated king once commanded her to reveal his enemy's plans. Before his imperial gaze, the pool remained dark as pitch. Yet when a simple fisherman asked how he might better serve his village, The waters blazed with prophetic light. You see, beloved seeker, divine wisdom reveals itself not to those who demand specific answers, but to those who approach with genuine openness to truth in all its forms. Practice, the mirror of truth. Find a quiet space with any reflective surface. Follow these steps. 1. Breathe deeply, whispering, I am ready to receive truth in whatever form it appears. 2. Release all predetermined questions and desired outcomes. 3. Open your heart to wisdom's unexpected forms. 4. Allow divine guidance to flow naturally through your consciousness. Remember Jennifer's teaching. The clearest visions come to those who seek not what they wish to see, but what the universe wishes to show. In the eternal cave of prophecy, Jennifer still tends her mystical pool, teaching us that life's deepest revelations emerge not from demanding answers, but from cultivating the courage to face whatever truths await us. Chapter 13. The Artist's Painting Portal. In the mist-shrouded mountains of ancient Tibet, where rainbow light danced through crystal peaks, lived an extraordinary artist named Joshua Bennett. Unlike other painters who captured mere images on silk, Joshua's brushstrokes opened doorways to realms beyond ordinary perception, but only for those who had developed the spiritual sight to see them. His humble studio, perched like an eagle's nest amid sacred peaks, held paintings that seemed to shift and breathe. Yet while most visitors saw only beautiful landscapes, those with awakened vision would gasp as the scenes came alive, revealing vast dimensional doorways through which they could step. One crisp autumn morning, as prayer flags snapped in the wind, a wealthy collector arrived to commission a masterpiece. "I want something impressive for my palace walls," he declared, examining Joshua's works with a calculating eye. "Though these seem rather simple." Joshua smiled, selecting a worn brush. "Perhaps this one will interest you." He gestured to a painting of a mountain path that, to enlightened eyes, clearly showed celestial beings dancing among the clouds. "Just rocks and trees," the collector scoffed, turning away. Later that day, a blind monk visited the studio. Though his physical eyes couldn't see, he stood transfixed before the same painting. "Extraordinary!" he exclaimed. "The light beings, they're beckoning us to join their sacred dance." Through years of observation, Joshua discovered that his art revealed exactly what each viewer's consciousness was prepared to perceive. Those seeking material beauty saw only surface images. But those who had cultivated inner vision experienced his paintings as living portals to higher dimensions. You see, precious one, the universe constantly offers doorways to expanded reality. Yet we can access these gateways only when we've developed the spiritual sight to perceive them. Practice, the vision of higher realms. Find a quiet space and choose any image to focus upon. Follow these steps. 1. Breathe deeply, declaring, "I am blessed with the vision to see beyond ordinary reality." 2. Allow your physical eyes to soften while your spiritual sight awakens. 3. Feel the image becoming a living doorway to higher consciousness. 4. Trust whatever perceptions arise without judgment. Remember Joshua's wisdom. True vision comes not from the eyes that look, but from the soul that sees. In the eternal studio of spirit, Joshua still creates his mystical portals, teaching us that life's most profound dimensions reveal themselves not to those who merely look, but to those who have learned to truly see. Before we get into the next chapter, you can download a free ebook version of this audiobook using the link in the pinned comment below this video. Chapter 14. The Musician's Healing Songs. In the hidden valleys of ancient Persia, where mountain winds played ethereal melodies through sacred caves, lived an extraordinary musician named Nicole Rivera. Unlike other wandering minstrels who played for coins and acclaim, Nicole discovered her music carried healing powers, but only when listeners opened their hearts fully to receive the universal symphony of love. Her simple reed flute, carved from bamboo that grew beside a holy spring, produced notes that somehow knew exactly what each person needed. Yet Nicole noticed something curious. While some listeners experienced miraculous healings, others heard only pleasant melodies. One moonlit evening, as she played in a village square, a wealthy merchant clutched his aching head and demanded, "Play something to cure my pain." Nicole's flute produced the perfect healing tones, yet his suffering persisted. Meanwhile, a humble washerwoman with a crippled hand sat quietly nearby, tears flowing as she simply appreciated the music's beauty. Before the final note faded, her fingers had straightened and regained their strength. Through countless similar experiences, Nicole understood the pattern. Those who demanded healing or approached her music with skepticism remained unchanged. But those who surrendered to the pure joy of the melody without expectation or resistance often found their ailments mysteriously dissolving. "Your music reaches beyond my ears," observed an old wise woman. "It speaks directly to the soul, but only when we leave our doors unlocked. You see, precious one, the universe's healing power flows not through forced cures or desperate seeking, but through pure receptivity to love's endless song. Practice the melody of healing. Find a quiet space where music can reach you. Follow these steps. 1. Breathe deeply, whispering, "I am open to receive the universe's healing symphony." 2. Release all expectations of specific outcomes. 3. Allow the sounds to wash through your entire being. 4. Trust that divine harmony knows exactly what you need. Remember Nicole's wisdom. True healing comes not from the notes we hear, but from how deeply we allow them to touch our soul. In the eternal concert hall of existence, Nicole still plays her sacred flute, teaching us that life's most profound healing emerges not from seeking cures, but from opening our hearts to the perfect melody already playing within us. Chapter 15. The Hunter's Invisible Prey. In the primordial forests of ancient Hyperborea, where dawn mists cloaked sacred groves in mystery, lived an extraordinary hunter named Matthew Parker. Unlike other trackers who pursued earthly game, Matthew discovered he could perceive mysterious creatures that appeared only when approached with perfect balance between a predator's focus and a mystic's reverence. His hunting ground lay in valleys where reality itself grew thin, marked by stones older than memory. Yet Matthew noticed something peculiar. When he stalked with pure predatory intent, the mystical beings remained invisible. Only when he achieved the rare harmony between hunter's skill and spiritual awareness did these otherworldly creatures reveal themselves. One frost-touched morning, as leaves whispered ancient secrets, a renowned warrior sought Matthew's guidance in tracking a legendary beast. "We must strike fast and fierce," the warrior declared, gripping his spear with eager hands. "Watch," Matthew whispered, gesturing to a seemingly empty glade. While the warrior saw nothing, Matthew's balanced awareness revealed a magnificent creature of light and shadow, peaceful despite their presence. Through seasons of observation, Matthew understood the teaching. Those who approached with dominance or aggression found only empty forest. But those who combined skilled pursuit with deep respect for life's sanctity witnessed beings that bridged the mortal and divine realms. A young apprentice once asked, "How can we both hunt and honor that which we hunt?" "The prey chooses to be found," Matthew explained, "when we prove worthy of the gift it offers. You see, beloved seeker, the universe's most profound mysteries reveal themselves not to those who would conquer them, but to those who have mastered the delicate balance between seeking and reverence. Practice the sacred hunter's meditation. Find a quiet space in nature. Follow these steps. 1. Breathe deeply, affirming, "I am both the skilled seeker and the reverent witness." 2. Sharpen your senses while softening your spirit. 3. Notice without grasping, pursue without demanding. 4. Honor the sacred dance between hunter and hunted. Remember Matthew's wisdom. The greatest prey is not what we catch, but what chooses to reveal itself when we approach with balanced heart. In the eternal forest of spirit, Matthew still tracks his invisible quarry, teaching us that life's deepest mysteries appear not to those who would seize them, but to those who have learned to blend the power of pursuit with the grace of reverence. Chapter 16. The Potter's Vessels of Abundance. In the sun-baked hills of ancient Mesopotamia, where clay held memories of creation itself, lived an extraordinary potter named Cristina Lopez. Unlike other artisans who shaped mere vessels, Cristina discovered her containers possessed a miraculous quality. They multiplied whatever was placed within them, but only when filled by hands free from the weight of scarcity. Her humble workshop, beside the sacred rivers where civilization first bloomed, contained shelves of seemingly ordinary vessels. Yet those who received her pottery reported mysterious occurrences. A jar of grain that never emptied, a bowl of oil that remained perpetually full, a vessel of coins that doubled its contents each moon cycle. One scorching afternoon, as her wheel spun in perfect rhythm with Earth's turning, a wealthy merchant brought her finest spices to store. "Make me a vessel that will increase my wealth," he demanded, clutching his treasures possessively. Cristina shaped a beautiful urn, but when the merchant filled it with his spices, they simply remained as they were. Meanwhile, a poor widow who had received one of Cristina's bowls as a gift found her single handful of flour somehow fed her children for months. Through countless such experiences, Cristina discovered the pattern. Those who approached her vessels with grasping or fear of lack found only ordinary clay. But those who gave and received with open hearts, trusting in life's endless abundance, witnessed the miraculous multiplication of whatever they shared. "The vessels mirror what lives in our hearts," she explained to her apprentice. "They can only multiply what flows freely through open hands." You see, precious one, the universe's abundance manifests not through desperate hoarding or anxious accumulation, but through the pure consciousness that knows there is always enough to share. Practice, the vessel of infinite supply. Find a special container and follow these steps. 1. Hold your vessel, declaring, "I am a channel of unlimited abundance." 2. Place something meaningful inside, coins, grain, or symbolic items. 3. Visualize your container connected to the cosmic source of all supply. 4th, share from your vessel with complete trust in its replenishment. Remember Christina's wisdom. True abundance flows not from what we keep, but from what we allow to flow through us in perfect trust. In the eternal workshop of creation, Christina still shapes her magical vessels, teaching us that life's greatest abundance emerges not from gathering more, but from releasing the consciousness of lack that blocks the infinite flow of universal supply. Chapter 17. The Architect's Self-Building Temples. In the mist-shrouded mountains of ancient Tibet, where sacred geometry danced in the thin air, lived an extraordinary architect named Brian Kelly. Unlike other builders who commanded armies of laborers, Brian discovered that stones would move themselves into perfect harmony, but only when his will completely aligned with the divine blueprint. His building sites, chosen through meditation at powerful energy nexus points, became theaters of miraculous construction. Yet Brian noticed something remarkable. When he approached with detailed plans and rigid expectations, the stones remained stubbornly immobile. Only when he surrendered his personal vision to serve the greater cosmic design did the massive blocks begin their mystical dance. One dawn, as prayer flags snapped in the wind, a powerful nobleman arrived demanding a magnificent temple. "Build it exactly to these specifications," he ordered, unrolling elaborate drawings. Brian stood quietly, hands empty of tools. The stones lay silent. But later that month, when a humble monk simply prayed for a sanctuary of perfect harmony, Brian watched in wonder as massive granite blocks floated into place like leaves on a gentle breeze. Through years of witnessing such mysteries, Brian understood the teaching. Those who tried to impose their will upon the universe found themselves struggling against its immovable weight. But those who aligned themselves with divine intention discovered they were merely instruments through which cosmic architecture manifested itself. "We do not build temples," he explained to his amazed apprentices. "We simply create the conditions through which they build themselves." You see, precious one, the universe's creative power flows not through forcing our limited vision, but through surrendering to the perfect design already waiting to emerge through us. Practice, the temple of divine will. Find a quiet space and follow these steps. 1. Center yourself, declaring, "I am a perfect channel for divine creation." 2. Visualize sacred geometry flowing through your being. 3. Release all personal plans and expectations. 4. Allow universal intelligence to architect through you. Remember Brian's wisdom. The greatest buildings rise not from our striving, but from our surrender to the master builder who already knows the perfect form. In the eternal construction site of existence, Brian still watches stones dance to cosmic rhythms, teaching us that life's most magnificent creations emerge not from imposing our will, but from aligning so completely with divine intention that we become the blueprint itself. Chapter 18. The Dancer's Reality-Shifting Movements. In the ethereal temples of ancient Cambodia, where sacred dancers moved between worlds, lived an extraordinary performer named Samantha Wright. Unlike other temple dancers who merely enacted stories, Samantha discovered her movements could alter the very fabric of reality, but only when her ego completely dissolved into pure devotional offering. Her dance sanctuary lay within a forgotten courtyard where moss-covered devas smiled their eternal smiles. Yet Samantha noticed something profound. When she danced with any trace of self-consciousness or desire for acclaim, reality remained stubbornly fixed. Only when she became empty of herself, a pure vessel for divine movement, did the walls between worlds begin to shimmer and bend. One twilight, as incense spiraled toward the stars, a renowned dance master came to witness her art. "Show me your most impressive choreography," he demanded, seated importantly among silk cushions. Samantha began to dance, but the air remained thick and ordinary. Later that night, alone in moonlight, she moved in spontaneous devotion to the divine. As her ego dissolved completely, those gathering night blooms witnessed reality itself begin to dance. Stone turning fluid, air becoming light, time flowing backward and forward like silk in wind. Through countless nights of sacred movement, Samantha understood the teaching. Those who danced to be seen remained trapped in ordinary reality, but those who allowed themselves to become pure movement, empty of performer, discovered they could step between the realms of possible and impossible. A young temple dancer once asked, "How can we make reality shift through our dance?" "We cannot make it do anything," Samantha explained. "We must become so empty of ourselves that reality dances through us." You see, beloved seeker, the universe's deepest magic manifests not through mastery of external forms, but through complete surrender of the self that separates us from the cosmic dance. Practice the reality-shifting movement meditation. Find a private space and follow these steps. 1. Begin moving, affirming, "I am the dance of divine creation." 2. Let all self-consciousness dissolve into pure devotional offering. 3. Allow movement to arise spontaneously through you. 4. Become empty enough to feel reality's fluid nature. Remember Samantha's wisdom. The greatest dance happens not when we perform it, but when we dissolve completely into the eternal choreography that dances all worlds into being. In the timeless temple of infinite possibility, Samantha still moves between realities, teaching us that life's profound transformations emerge not from perfecting our performance, but from becoming so transparent that the divine can dance unobstructed through our being. Chapter 19. The Librarian's Living Books. In the crystalline caverns beneath ancient Alexandria, where wisdom whispered through limestone passages, lived an extraordinary librarian named Jeremy Scott. Unlike other keepers who merely preserved scrolls, Jeremy discovered the texts in his care, revealed different wisdom to each reader, but only when their consciousness had evolved to perceive deeper layers of truth. His underground sanctuary held thousands of seemingly ordinary scrolls, yet visitors reported mysterious experiences, passages shifting before their eyes, words rearranging into personal messages, and entire chapters appearing or vanishing based on the reader's spiritual readiness. One autumn evening, as oil lamps cast dancing shadows on the cave walls, a renowned philosopher arrived seeking ancient secrets. "Show me your most advanced teachings," he demanded, reaching for a sacred text. Yet when he unrolled the scroll, he found only basic parables. Meanwhile, a humble street sweeper, borrowing a simple prayer book, discovered within its chapters the deepest mysteries of creation, teachings that weren't visible to others who examined the same text. Through countless such encounters, Jeremy understood the pattern. The scrolls acted as mirrors, reflecting back only what each reader's consciousness could comprehend. A single volume might appear as a children's tale to one, profound mystical instruction to another, and pure light to those of highest attunement. "Books are not fixed things," he explained to his apprentice while dusting ancient shelves. "They are living bridges between universal wisdom and individual readiness. You see, precious one, divine knowledge reveals itself not through intellectual grasp or scholarly status, but through the pure receptivity of an evolved consciousness. Practice, the living text, meditation. Find a sacred text and follow these steps. 1. Center yourself, declaring, "I am ready to receive deeper wisdom." 2. Open the book randomly, allowing your eyes to settle naturally. 3. Read not with your mind, but with your entire being. 4. Notice how the meaning shifts as you open to higher understanding. Remember Jeremy's wisdom. True knowledge lives not in the words themselves, but in the space between your consciousness and infinite possibility. In the eternal library of cosmic wisdom, Jeremy still tends his living books, teaching us that life's deepest truths emerge not from accumulating information, but from becoming the consciousness that can perceive what was always written between the lines. Chapter 20. The Gardener's Consciousness. Seeds. In the hidden valleys of ancient Persia, where moonflowers bloomed in eternal gardens untouched by time, lived an extraordinary gardener named Amber Thompson. Unlike other cultivators who planted ordinary seeds, Amber discovered she could grow manifestations of pure consciousness, but only when the intentions were sown from the soil of unconditional love. Her mystical garden defied nature's usual patterns. Plants sprouted not from physical seeds, but from the pure essence of thoughts and dreams. Yet Amber noticed something profound. When she planted from a place of lack or need, even the most carefully tended beds remained barren. Only when her heart overflowed with love and completeness did magnificent blooms of manifestation spring forth. One drought-parched season, as desert winds howled through the valley, a desperate merchant brought her a handful of precious seeds. "Plant these immediately," he demanded. "I must have a bountiful harvest to sell." Amber placed the seeds in her richest soil, but they lay dormant. Later that moon cycle, when a child offered her a single seed wrapped in a leaf, saying simply, "I wish to grow beauty for others to enjoy," Amber watched in wonder as it sprouted into a shimmering tree bearing fruit of pure light. Through seasons of such mysteries, Amber understood the teaching. Those who planted from desperate want remained haunted by scarcity's shadows, but those who sowed from love's abundance discovered their gardens blooming with miracles beyond imagination. "We don't grow things," she explained to her amazed apprentices. "We cultivate the consciousness from which all creation springs. You see, precious one, the universe's manifestation power flows not from grasping need, but from the fertile soil of love's complete fullness." Practice. The garden of pure intention. Find a quiet space and follow these steps. 1. Ground yourself, declaring, "I am the garden of divine abundance." 2. Feel your heart overflow with unconditional love. 3. Plant your intention from this space of complete fullness. 4. Water it daily with gratitude and joyful expectation. Remember Amber's wisdom. The most magnificent blooms rise not from our wanting, but from our overflowing. In the eternal garden of infinite possibility, Amber still tends her consciousness seeds, teaching us that life's most beautiful manifestations emerge not from the soil of need, but from hearts so full of love they can't help but create more beauty to share. Part 3. Embodying the Universal Mystery. Chapter 21. The Judge's Scale of Truth. In the mist-shrouded mountains of ancient Tibet, where karma's threads were said to become visible to enlightened eyes, lived an extraordinary judge named Ryan Edwards. Unlike other arbiters who weighed mere evidence and testimony, Ryan possessed a mystical scale that measured the pure essence of truth, but only when those who stood before it had released all self-deception. His courtyard of judgment lay beneath an ancient Bodhi tree, where a set of golden scales hung from gnarled branches. Yet these were no ordinary balances. Rather than weighing physical objects, they responded to the invisible weight of human intention and self-honesty. One autumn morning, as prayer flags snapped in the wind, 2 merchants brought their dispute before him. "Place your grievance upon the scales," Ryan instructed, gesturing to the empty balances. The first merchant spoke eloquently of being wronged, yet the scales remained motionless. The second merchant opened his mouth to defend himself, but before he could speak, the scales began to move, not measuring his words, but weighing the truth he had yet to admit even to himself. Through countless such revelations, Ryan understood the deeper teaching. The scales measured not actions or arguments, but the degree to which each soul was ready to face absolute truth about themselves. Those who came seeking to prove their rightness found the scales unmoved, but those willing to witness their own depths, both shadow and light, discovered the scales dancing with the weight of authentic self-recognition. "These scales do not judge," he explained to his puzzled apprentice. "They simply reflect what we are ready to see in ourselves. You see, beloved seeker, the universe's deepest justice flows not from external judgment, but from our willingness to face the complete truth of who we are." Practice. The Scale of Self-Truth Meditation. Find a quiet space and follow these steps. 1. Center yourself, declaring, "I am ready to face my complete truth." 2. Imagine golden scales before you, empty and waiting. 3. Place each thought and feeling upon them without judgment. 4. Notice what truths become weightier as your defenses dissolve. Remember Ryan's wisdom. The scales measure not our righteousness, but our readiness for revelation. In the eternal courtyard of infinite truth, Ryan still tends his mystical scales, teaching us that life's profound transformations emerge not from proving ourselves right, but from becoming honest enough to see who we truly are, beyond all illusion and defense. Chapter 22. The Messenger's Telepathic Deliveries. In the shimmering oases of ancient Arabia, where thought traveled faster than desert winds across singing dunes, lived an extraordinary messenger named Heather Morgan. Unlike other couriers who carried physical scrolls and parcels, Heather discovered she could transmit messages directly from mind to mind, but only between souls whose spiritual frequencies had achieved perfect harmony. Her delivery routes traced invisible lines across the vast desert, connecting distant temples and hidden mystic communities. Yet she noticed something remarkable. While some recipients instantly received her thought-carried messages with perfect clarity, others perceived nothing at all, no matter how loudly she projected her mental signals. One windswept evening, as the setting sun painted the dunes copper and gold, an urgent message needed delivery to a distant monastery. "Send it now," demanded the anxious sender. "It cannot wait until morning." Heather attempted the transmission, but the intended receiver's consciousness remained closed like a sealed tomb. Later that night, while delivering a simple greeting between two humble carpet weavers, she watched in wonder as entire volumes of wisdom flowed effortlessly between their synchronized souls. Through countless such deliveries, Heather understood the pattern. Messages flowed not through force of will or desperate need, but through the natural resonance between minds attuned to the same spiritual frequency. Those who demanded immediate transmission remained deaf to the subtlest whispers, while those who had cultivated inner harmony could share entire libraries of knowledge in a single moment of connection. "We don't send messages," she explained to her apprentice while watching heat mirages dance across the horizon. "We simply become clear channels through which truth naturally flows." You see, precious one, the universe's deepest communication happens not through forced transmission, but through the perfect alignment of ready souls. Practice. The telepathic resonance meditation. Find a quiet space and follow these steps. 1. Center yourself, declaring, "I am a clear channel of divine connection." 2. Attune your consciousness to universal frequency. 3. Release all effort to send or receive. 4. Allow wisdom to flow naturally through your aligned awareness. Remember Heather's wisdom. The purest messages travel not through space, but through the synchronized hearts of those prepared to share them. In the eternal web of cosmic communication, Heather still delivers her thought messages, teaching us that life's most profound exchanges happen not through external effort, but through the natural resonance of souls vibrating in perfect harmony. Chapter 23. the engineer's impossible machines. In the misty valleys of ancient China, where bamboo forests whispered secrets of the cosmos, lived an extraordinary engineer named Sean Murphy. Unlike other craftsmen who built with mere wood and metal, Sean discovered he could construct devices that harnessed the very essence of universal energy, but only when operated by those who had transcended the illusion of separation. His workshop defied conventional understanding. Wheels turned without mechanical connection, light emerged from hollow vessels, and strange instruments hummed with power drawn from the invisible fabric of reality itself. Yet Sean noticed something profound. When anyone approached his creations with a mind clouded by duality, the machines fell silent and still. One foggy morning, as dawn painted the mountains in ethereal light, a wealthy merchant brought him a broken celestial compass. "Fix this with your miraculous skills," he commanded, dropping a heavy purse of gold. Sean's hands moved across the device, but it remained lifeless. Later that day, when a humble temple sweeper touched the same compass while lost in meditation, its needle sprang to life, pointing not just north, but towards dimensional doorways previously unseen. Through countless such revelations, Sean understood the deeper teaching. His machines weren't machines at all. They were mirrors of consciousness, responding only to those who recognized their own unity with the cosmic force that powered them. Those who saw themselves as separate operators found only lifeless metal, but those who realized they were one with the universal energy discovered their touch awakened miracles. "We don't build devices," he explained to his amazed apprentices. "We create bridges between visible and invisible realms that respond to unified awareness. You see, precious one, the universe's deepest power flows not through mechanical mastery, but through the recognition that operator and operation are one. Practice the unified energy activation. Find a quiet space and follow these steps. 1. Center yourself, declaring, "I am one with universal force." 2. Place your hands on any object before you. 3. Release all sense of separation between self and other. 4. Feel the flow of cosmic energy moving through unified awareness. Remember Sean's wisdom. The most remarkable machines work not through complexity of design, but through simplicity of oneness. In the eternal workshop of infinite possibility, Sean still crafts his impossible devices, teaching us that life's greatest innovations emerge not from technical skill alone, but from consciousness that transcends the illusion of separation. Chapter 24. The Teacher's Wordless Lessons. In the hidden valleys of ancient Bhutan, where prayer wheels spun eternal truths into the mountain mist, lived an extraordinary teacher named Kimberly Adams. Unlike other instructors who lectured and debated, Kimberly discovered she could transmit the deepest wisdom through complete silence, but only to students whose receptivity had matured beyond the need for words. Her teaching hall was unlike any other. No scrolls lined its walls, no voices echoed through its chambers. Instead, students would sit in the presence of her radiant stillness, experiencing direct transmission of knowledge that transcended language itself. Yet Kimberly noticed something remarkable. While some students received entire libraries of understanding through a single silent gaze, others grew frustrated and left, unable to perceive the profound teachings flowing through the quiet. One misty dawn, as rhododendron petals drifted like pink snow, an accomplished scholar arrived seeking wisdom. "Teach me everything you know," he demanded, unrolling his credentials. Kimberly simply sat in silence. The scholar waited, grew angry, and stormed away. Later that day, a young yak herder wandered in, sat quietly, and in one breathless moment received the essence of 1,000 teachings through the silence between thoughts. Through countless such encounters, Kimberly understood the pattern. True wisdom flowed not through elaborate explanations, but through the pristine clarity of minds prepared to receive direct knowing. Those who demanded words found only empty silence, while those who had transcended mental chatter discovered entire universes of understanding in a single wordless moment. "We don't teach knowledge," she would gesture to her puzzled visitors. "We become still enough to let wisdom reveal itself. You see, precious seeker, the universe's deepest teachings flow not through language, but through the pure awareness that lies beyond all words." Practice the silent wisdom transmission. Find a quiet space and follow these steps. 1. Center yourself, declaring silently, "I am open to wordless knowing." 2. Release all mental activity and expectation. 3. Rest in pure receptive awareness. 4. Allow wisdom to arise naturally in the silence. Remember Kimberly's silent teaching. The profoundest truths speak themselves when the mind grows quiet enough to hear them. In the eternal classroom of infinite understanding, Kimberly still shares her wordless wisdom, teaching us that life's deepest revelations emerge not through explanation, but through the direct transmission that happens when consciousness transcends the need for words. Chapter 25. The Merchant's Abundance Exchange. In the bustling silk markets of ancient Samarkand, where caravans wove paths between east and west like threads of destiny, lived an unusual merchant named Tiffany Nelson. Unlike other traders who carefully counted every coin, Tiffany discovered she could manifest unlimited prosperity, but only when she gave without any expectation of return. Her marketplace stall defied conventional commerce. Instead of haggling, she simply offered her finest silks to those in genuine need, regardless of their ability to pay. Yet she noticed something extraordinary. While some days she gave away entire bolts of fabric without receiving a single copper piece, her wealth mysteriously multiplied through unexpected channels. One sweltering afternoon, as spice-laden winds stirred the market awnings, a wealthy prince arrived seeking her rarest textiles. "Name your price," he declared, displaying his jeweled purse. But Tiffany saw no true need in his eyes, only desire. Later that day, when a poor weaver approached with empty hands but a heart full of creative purpose, she gifted him her finest silk. By sunset, her coffers had mysteriously filled with more gold than the prince had offered. Through countless such exchanges, Tiffany understood the cosmic pattern. True abundance flowed not through careful calculation, but through the pure joy of giving aligned with universal purpose. Those who clutched at wealth found it slipping away, while those who gave freely discovered riches flowing back, through 1,000 unexpected doors. "We don't trade goods," she explained to her bewildered fellow merchants. "We simply become channels through which abundance naturally flows. You see, precious one, the universe's deepest prosperity emerges not through aggressive acquisition, but through the perfect alignment with abundance consciousness itself. Practice the prosperity flow meditation. Find a quiet space and follow these steps. 1. Center yourself, declaring, "I am an infinite channel of universal abundance." 2. Imagine yourself giving freely without attachment. 3. Feel the joy of being abundance itself. 4. Allow prosperity to flow naturally through your aligned awareness. Remember Tiffany's wisdom. True wealth comes not from holding tight, but from becoming the very flow of abundance itself. In the eternal marketplace of infinite exchange, Tiffany still practices her mysterious commerce, teaching us that life's greatest prosperity emerges not through careful calculation, but through the natural overflow of a heart that has become one with abundance itself. Chapter 26. The Explorer's Dimensional Doorways. In the shimmering deserts of ancient Egypt, where reality rippled like heat waves across golden sands, lived an extraordinary explorer named Justin Reed. Unlike other adventurers who sought physical treasures, Justin discovered he could find passages between dimensions, but only after releasing every attachment that anchored consciousness to limited reality. His expeditions defied ordinary understanding. Where others saw only empty temple walls, Justin could step through gleaming portals into realms beyond imagination. Yet he noticed something profound. These doorways remained invisible to those whose minds were bound by rigid beliefs about what was possible. One crystalline desert night, as stars wheeled overhead like cosmic dancers, a renowned treasure hunter sought his guidance. "Show me the way to these magical portals," the hunter demanded, clutching maps and tools. Justin watched as the man walked straight through a glowing doorway without seeing it. Later that evening, a lost child wandered past, her mind free of preconceptions about reality's limits. To Justin's delight, she pointed at the shimmering portal and asked, "Does the rainbow door lead to where the stars are born?" Through countless such encounters, Justin understood the deeper truth. The doorways between realms had always existed. They simply remained invisible to those whose consciousness was too tightly bound to conventional reality. Those who desperately sought passages found only solid walls, while those who released all limiting beliefs discovered doorways everywhere they looked. "We don't find dimensional portals," he explained to his amazed followers. "We simply remove the barriers in consciousness that prevent us from seeing them. You see, precious one, the universe's infinite realms become accessible not through seeking, but through releasing everything that tells you they cannot exist. Practice the dimensional door meditation. Find a quiet space and follow these steps. 1. Center yourself, declaring, "I am unlimited consciousness." 2. Release each belief about what is and isn't possible. 3. Allow your awareness to expand beyond all boundaries. 4. Feel the dissolving of barriers between realms. Remember Justin's wisdom. The doors between dimensions open not through force of will, but through surrender of limitation. In the eternal expanse of infinite possibility, Justin still guides seekers through unseen doorways, teaching us that life's greatest discoveries emerge not from searching, but from releasing everything that blinds us to the magical passages that surround us always. Chapter 27. The Counselor's Soul Mirror. In the misty mountain temples of ancient Tibet, where wisdom echoed through prayer-filled valleys, lived an extraordinary counselor named Amy Patterson. Unlike traditional advisors who offered words of guidance, Amy possessed a remarkable gift. She could manifest a mystical mirror that revealed to each seeker their highest divine potential, but only when they had developed the consciousness to truly see it. Her consultation chamber held no ordinary mirrors, only a single pool of perfectly still water blessed by 1,000 moons. Yet what visitors saw in its surface varied dramatically. Some saw only their physical reflection, while others gasped in wonder as their most enlightened self gazed back at them, radiating unlimited potential. One autumn morning, as golden leaves danced on mountain winds, a wealthy merchant arrived seeking counsel. "Show me my true self," he demanded, tossing precious gems beside the pool. Amy invited him to look, but he saw only his ordinary reflection and departed in anger. Later that day, a humble flower-gatherer knelt by the water's edge. Her eyes widened in wonder as she beheld herself crowned in light, wisdom flowing from her like a celestial river. Through countless such encounters, Amy understood the divine pattern. The soul's highest potential remained invisible until consciousness expanded enough to embrace it. Those who demanded immediate vision found only surface reflections, while those who approached with gentle readiness discovered their own boundless divinity gazing back. "We don't create the vision," she would whisper to seekers. "We simply become clear enough to see what was always there. You see, beloved one, your highest self already exists in perfect form. The journey is not about becoming something new, but about developing the vision to recognize what you eternally are." Practice. The divine reflection. Meditation. Find a quiet space with still water or a mirror and follow these steps. 1. Center yourself, declaring, "I am ready to see my true divine nature." 2. Gaze softly at your reflection without judgment. 3. Allow your vision to soften beyond physical appearance. 4. Open your heart to receive glimpses of your highest potential. Remember Amy's wisdom. The face of your divinity appears not through forcing vision, but through becoming ready to recognize your eternal light. In the timeless chamber of infinite reflection, Amy still guides seekers to recognize their divine nature, teaching us that our highest potential reveals itself not through seeking, but through developing the consciousness to see what was always there. Chapter 28. The Inventor's Creation Magic. In the glittering crystal caves of ancient Lemuria, where thought itself took physical form, lived an extraordinary inventor named Mark Anderson. Unlike other craftsmen who shaped materials with tools, Mark discovered he could manifest objects directly from pure consciousness, but only when his creative intentions perfectly aligned with universal benefit. His workshop contained no forges or workbenches, only a meditation cushion surrounded by floating crystals that hummed with possibility. Yet what emerged from his sessions defied ordinary creation. Through pure thought aligned with cosmic purpose, ethereal blueprints would shimmer in the air before consolidating into physical form. One crystalline morning, as rainbow light danced through the cave walls, a wealthy collector arrived seeking magical devices. "Create me something to dominate my rivals," he demanded, offering a fortune in precious gems. Mark sat in meditation but could manifest nothing, the crystals falling silent. Later that day, when a humble farmer sought help to heal his drought-stricken lands, Mark's consciousness burst into creative fire. Before their eyes, a delicate device materialized that could call rain from clear skies. Through countless such experiences, Mark understood the cosmic pattern. Creation magic flowed not from personal desire, but through perfect alignment with universal evolution. Those who sought to manifest from ego found their thoughts falling flat, while those whose intentions served the greater good discovered reality itself reshaping to match their vision. "We don't create through force of will," he explained to his amazed apprentices. "We simply align our consciousness with what the universe is ready to birth through us." You see, precious one, the power to manifest emerges not through mental effort, but through becoming a clear channel for creation itself. Practice the conscious creation ritual. Find a quiet space and follow these steps. 1. Center yourself, declaring, "I am a perfect channel for universal creation." 2. Feel your consciousness expand beyond personal desire. 3. Allow creative vision to arise that serves all beings. 4. Watch as your aligned intention begins taking form. Remember Mark's wisdom. True creation comes not from thinking thoughts, but from allowing universal intelligence to think through you. In the eternal workshop of infinite possibility, Mark still practices his mysterious art, teaching us that manifestation flows not through personal will, but through becoming one with the creative force that dreams worlds into being. Chapter 29. The Storyteller's Living Tales. In the twilight forests of ancient Ireland, where reality and myth danced as one, lived an extraordinary storyteller named Elizabeth Turner. Unlike other tale weavers who simply spoke their stories, Elizabeth discovered her narratives would materialize around her listeners, but only when their consciousness had evolved enough to participate in reality's dance. Her storytelling grove held no ordinary gathering place, only a circle of standing stones that thrummed with otherworldly energy. As she spoke, those ready to see would watch in wonder as characters stepped from thin air. Mythical creatures soared overhead, and entire landscapes shimmered into being. One misty evening, as the veils between worlds grew thin, a boastful poet arrived, seeking to learn her secrets. "Show me how to command such illusions," he demanded, flourishing his finest verses. Elizabeth began a tale, but the poet saw only a woman gesturing at empty air. Meanwhile, a wide-eyed child sitting nearby squealed with delight as she reached out to touch the shimmering wings of a fairy that had materialized from Elizabeth's words. Through countless such moments, Elizabeth understood the deeper pattern. Stories were not mere entertainment, but living seeds of reality, sprouting into physical form when falling on fertile consciousness. Those who approached with rigid minds found only words, while those who opened themselves to wonder discovered they were not passive listeners, but active co-creators of each unfolding tale. "We don't tell stories," she would whisper as magical scenes danced around her. "We simply remind the universe of what it dreams to become through us. You see, precious one, reality itself is a living story constantly creating itself anew through those ready to participate in its endless unfolding." Practice. The story. Weaving meditation. Find a quiet space and follow these steps. 1. Center yourself, declaring, "I am a living chapter in the universal story." 2. Allow your imagination to dissolve the boundary between inner and outer. 3. Feel yourself as both storyteller and story. 4. Watch as reality reshapes itself through your conscious participation. Remember Elizabeth's wisdom. The greatest tales don't simply entertain, they awaken us to our power as co-authors of existence itself. In the eternal grove of infinite stories, Elizabeth still weaves her living tales, teaching us that reality's magic emerges not from passive observation, but from conscious participation in the grand story that dreams us all into being. Chapter 30. The Initiate's Final Understanding. In the hidden valley of the Eternal Masters, where reality's deepest mysteries unveiled themselves to ready souls, lived an extraordinary seeker named Stephen Phillips. Unlike other spiritual aspirants who sought to gain mastery over the universe's powers, Stephen discovered a truth so profound it transformed everything, but only when he finally stopped seeking. His meditation cave sat high in crystalline peaks where cosmic energies converged in dancing ribbons of light. Yet unlike others who tried to harness these forces, Stephen simply sat in perfect stillness, dissolving deeper and deeper into the ultimate mystery. One sacred dawn, as golden light pierced the morning mists, an ambitious adept climbed to his cave. "Teach me to control the universe's power," the visitor demanded. Stephen smiled softly and replied, "How can you control what you already are?" In that moment, as the words echoed through the cave, something extraordinary happened. The boundaries between Stephen, the visitor, the cave, and all of existence suddenly dissolved. There was no longer a seeker trying to grasp truth. There was only truth recognizing itself through what appeared to be separate forms. Through this profound revelation, Stephen understood the cosmic pattern that had always been present. The ultimate spiritual achievement wasn't gaining power over the universe. It was recognizing that you are the universe experiencing itself in endless forms. Those who sought to control reality remained trapped in illusion, while those who recognized their true nature discovered they were already everything they sought. "We don't need to master the universe," he would whisper to those ready to hear. "We simply need to remember we are the universe, mastering itself through us." You see, precious one, you are not a separate being seeking connection with cosmic forces. You are those forces taking this precise form to experience themselves in uniquely beautiful ways. Practice. The ultimate recognition meditation. Find a quiet space and follow these steps. 1. Center yourself, declaring, I am the universe experiencing itself as this form. 2. Allow all sense of separation to dissolve. 3. Feel yourself as both the observer and everything being observed. 4. Rest in the recognition of your true, infinite nature. Remember Stephen's wisdom. The final understanding isn't about achieving anything, it's about recognizing what you eternally are. In the timeless cave of infinite being, Stephen still sits in profound simplicity, teaching us that enlightenment comes not through gaining something new, but through recognizing we have always been the very thing we sought. If you enjoyed this audiobook, I created a free ebook version for you. You can download it using the link in the pinned comment. Conclusion. And now, seeker, the circle closes. You have walked among merchants of destiny, blacksmiths of surrender, astronomers of inner light, and countless others who revealed that the miracles of the cosmos are never withheld. They only await your readiness to receive. What have these tales truly spoken? That abundance flows not from possession but from trust. That healing descends not from remedy but from openness. That guidance appears not through command but through surrender. And that the final mystery is not about gaining power over life, but remembering you are already one with its boundless source. Let these stories linger within you as seeds, for they will not sprout all at once. Some may lie quiet until a moment of need, then bloom with sudden clarity. Others may already be unfolding in unseen ways, shaping choices and opening doors as you move through your days. Carry this knowing gently. You are not apart from the eternal marketplace of wonders, the forge of creation, the loom of fate, or the silent library of wisdom. You are each of these, clothed for a time in human form, here to remember the truth you once forgot, that the universe is not outside you, but is you, endlessly discovering itself. And so, when the book grows quiet and the voice fades, the teaching does not end. It continues as the whisper in your breath, the light in your eyes, the rhythm of your heart. Walk on, beloved one, for every step you take is the universe awakening to itself through you.
If you enjoyed this exclusive audiobook, I handpicked this next book which will change your life.